Hey guys, I hope y'all are having a great day today. So we're going to be ranking makeup. I'm going to be ranking all of the new products that I tried last month, June 2021, from my least favorite to my favorite. So all of these products, all of them but one, are new releases that came out last month, and then there's one product that has already been out for a while, but I just tried it for the first time last month. So I'm just going to explain to y'all why I put them in this particular order, what I like about them, what I didn't like about them, and then of course I will reveal my favorite product from last month at the end of the video. So before we get started, if you're here for the first time, hello, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. My name is SonyaNicole and I post makeup videos here, including some stuff for us 40 and over makeup lovers, aka the Grown and Gorgeous crew. So if you're interested in that, please make sure you subscribe while you're here today. I would love to have you join the channel, and of course I would really appreciate your support. Okay y'all, let's get right into it. Okay, so I have 8 products to share with y'all today. I feel like that's not a whole lot to test out in 1 month. There's just been new releases coming out left and right, so I've been really busy with trying out new products, but I think 8 is a good number. So let's start off with my least favorite product, and I think I'm one of the only people who didn't really like this, but I'm gonna say my least favorite was the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. So I got this in 3 shades, but I'm gonna be talking about the shade Bronze Belle for the most part. I am going to be buying this in Sun-Kissed, and I'm going to be testing that out to see if I like it any better. But the shade Bronze Belle was the one that I primarily tested out in this video, and this putty bronzer is supposed to be very highly pigmented. I don't think it is. I actually think it's quite sheer. I felt like I had to put on a good amount of this in order to blend it out. This swatch looks pretty pigmented, but you know when you're putting a bronzer on your face, you want to blend it out. I felt like when I was trying to blend it out on my face, I had to apply like 3 different coats and I could barely see it. But the main reason I didn't like this product is because to me it pulls more like a contour as opposed to a bronzer. So I think this comes in 8 different shades, and when you look at the whole shade range, there's definitely some shades that look like they're a bit cooler than others. There was one shade, I think it was the lightest one, that definitely looks really gray, like it was meant to be used as a contour. But I think because they're advertising this as a bronzer, that's how it should be used and that's how it should be tested out. So I think all of the shades should give you some warmth to your skin, and if some of these were meant to be contours, then that's how they should have been advertised. Now it's possible that some of these shades will look different on different skin tones. So like maybe there are some people out there who can use Bronze Belle and it gives them some warmth, but on my skin tone it looked like a contour. I felt like my face was looking very muddy because I had this pretty much on my forehead and it was just very visible, and to me it just didn't add any warmth to my skin. So unfortunately I'm gonna say that this was my least favorite product. However, I will be trying another shade that perhaps will work better than this one. So next on my list is another product that I think I'm one of the only people who didn't like. So this is the Huda Beauty Glowish Multidew Skin Tint. So this is meant to be a skin tint. However, they do advertise that you can also use this as a spot highlighter, and you can mix it in with other foundations to add like a hint of glow to your other products. I tried this out initially as a skin tint and I thought it was just way too glowy, way too dewy, and very iridescent on my face. That's the main thing that I didn't like about it, because if it was like really glowy and really dewy but didn't have that iridescent look, like that liquid highlighter look, I feel like I can work with that by putting on like some setting powder or something, but this just gave off like iridescence. To me, it looked like I put liquid highlighter all over my face, and I just did not like it. The second time I tried this out, I mixed it in with a matte foundation, the Lancome Tint Idol foundation, and I loved it mixed in with that. However, I won't be using this very often because I would only mix this in with a matte foundation. I feel like this is so glowy and so dewy that if I mix it in with like a natural finish foundation, which that's what I've been wearing lately, it's still gonna be too glowy. So I think the only way to offset the level of glow and dew that this gives off is to mix it in with a very matte foundation, and I just haven't been wearing those types of products lately. So even though I did like it when I mixed it in with Lancome, I'm really not going to be getting a whole lot of use out of this. I definitely can't use it as a skin tint on its own because it was just like too over the top looking on my face. But I think if you have dry to normal skin, you would do better with this. And I did see a lot of reviews from people who have oily skin like me, and they did still like this, but for me it was just like it was too much. So that's the next product on my list. Now those two products, those are really the only ones that I tried last month that I just really did not like. All the rest of these products I liked, so for some of them it was kind of difficult to rank them because I like them all. So let's go into product number 6, and that is the Patrick Ta, called the Patrick Ta Major Dimension Eyeshadow Palette. And that's what this looks like here. So I will say right off the bat, the only reason I bought this is because I had Sephora cash and I was able to get this for pretty much half price. So this cost $68, and I think that's like really pricey for this. I got it for like half off, but I would not have paid $68 for this. But I do think it's a really nice palette. Like if you like really nice neutral tones, let me show you guys a close-up of it. If you like neutral tone palettes, this might be one that's worth you trying out because it is a really nice neutral palette that you can use for every day. And what's very unique about this is that they have a lot of different finishes going on. So they have some shimmers, metallics, some mattes, and even some cream shades. So these two shades up top, these are creams. That's why they have this little like protective case over it. It kind of opens up really easily, so I don't know how well it's actually protecting that. But these two shades up here are creams, and then these on the bottom row, these are mattes, and then these over here are a mix of like metallics and shimmers. So there's a lot of different finishes going on, and these are like really buildable. So I think that they perform really well, and that you can put like the creams on top of the mattes or the shimmers or vice versa. Like you can really like build the different finishes on top of each other however you want, and they all blend out really easily. So this is a really nice neutral palette. I do kind of feel like $68 is a little up there, but Patrick Ta is one of those higher end, maybe like borderline luxury type brands, but I would not have purchased this if I couldn't get it for like half off. So that's really the only reason I got it. But you know, I am happy that I got it. So I did put this one at number 6. So my number 5 product was very shocking to me. I was so surprised that I ended up liking this product. This is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Perfector 4-in-1 Glow Makeup. So I recently did a video on this, so I'll link that in case y'all haven't seen it. So I was really concerned about this before I tried it out because this is advertised as being a 4-in-1 product. It's supposed to be a primer, concealer, highlighter, and BB cream all in one. So when I saw that, I was just like, how is that like even possible? So when I tested this out, I tested it as a glowy BB cream or as like a glowy skin tint because I think that's basically what it is. I wouldn't use this as a primer because even though I do have oily skin, so people with drier skin might feel a little bit differently, but to me this isn't something that I would use to prime the face and then go on top of with other complexion products. I would use it as like my base, as my BB cream, as my skin tint, and then just put all my other makeup on top of it, but not another foundation. As a concealer, this definitely won't conceal anything because it doesn't give you full coverage. But I thought when they said concealer, they were thinking more like it blurs out imperfections, which I think it does very well, but it's definitely not going to give you enough coverage to like spot conceal. It's just not that full coverage of a product. This will give you anywhere from like sheer to light coverage and maybe borderline like medium, but it's definitely not enough coverage to give you a concealer. And when they say a highlighter, now I do think that this product gives you a natural glow on your face, but to me a highlighter is something like this. Like this is a highlighter, or if it's a liquid highlighter, something like this. These are actual highlighters, whereas this, I don't think it operates as a highlighter. It operates as like a something that's going to give you a glow on your face. So I I guess you could take a lighter color than your skin tone and maybe try it out as like a cheek highlight. I didn't do that because number one, the shade range on this is pretty bad. It's only 5 shades and there's like some drastic jumps in there, but they didn't really have anything that I would have used as a highlighter because the 2 shades lighter than this one are like very, very pale, and I just didn't think I could do anything with those. But I guess you could use a lighter shade as like a spot highlighter, but it's definitely not a highlighter like these 2 types of products. And then the last claim on here is that it's a BB cream. Again, that's how I tested it out, and I do think it works as a BB cream or as like a glowy skin tint, but like I said in my other video, the way that they advertise this is kind of misleading, I think. But I do think it's a really nice product. Like, this is something that I would wear because to me it worked on my skin. I did mix in 2 shades. I mixed in medium and medium deep. I do think I could get away with both of these on its own, but mixing them works out really well for me. So yeah, I was really surprised that I liked this because I didn't have high hopes about this, but it worked out. So I put this one at number 5. So products number 4 and 3, these 2 were really hard for me to rank. I kept going back and forth between like which one I liked best between the 2. So at product number 4, I put the Pat McGrath Labs Divine Blush. I bought these in 2 shades. I got Paradise Venus, and I can't even remember the other shade that I got, but the other shade that I got, I gave it to my sister. This one is the shade Paradise Venus. Now, I will say when I looked at the swatch of this online, it looked a bit more of like a burnt orange shade than this. This one is more of like, I guess like a terracotta type shade, which it is. That's how it's advertised on the website, but the color of it looked like it was going to be more of like an orangey shade, which is why I got this. So even though these shades aren't the types that I would normally wear, I do really love this blush. This blush just literally melts into your skin. You can build it up without it looking like too much makeup or too much blush on your face because it literally just melts right into your skin. If you've ever tried the Charlotte Tilbury matte bronzer, that formula kind of just fuses right into your skin. That's how this blush applies. Like, it's actually really hard to go wrong with this blush because of the way it just kind of like just melts right into the skin. So, and they do have a pretty good shade range. It's 8 or 9 shades, but like I said, this one ended up being a little off from what I thought it was going to be, but it is still one of my favorite blushes. Like, I think outside of today, I'm not wearing it today, but I would say like 9 times out of 10 since I bought this is the blush that I've been wearing. So I put this one at number 4, and then the product that I kept going back and forth with the blush is the one that I put at number 3. This is the Glowish by Huda Beauty bronzer. It's called the Soft Radiance bronzer. So this one is in the shade 04 Deep Tan. So this came out along with the Glowish skin tint. So I didn't like the skin tint, but I love this bronzer. This is so velvety. Like, I wish you could feel what I'm feeling right now if you haven't tried this bronzer yet, but it's just so velvety and very similar to the Pat McGrath blush. This just melts right in. So I hope that y'all can make that out. It looks like it's quite subtle, but that's one of the reasons that, let me see if I can just blend this out a little bit. That's one of the reasons that I like it. I like subtle blushes in general, but this one was meant to be worn subtly. Like, it's meant to give you just a subtle hint of glow on your face and just not be over the top, and that's exactly what it is. So that's kind of like what it looks like when it's all blended out. I was a little concerned when I ordered this because online this one looked a lot more red than it does in person, but if you can use me as a shade reference, this is a really good shade for me. And again, this one is in the shade 04 Deep Tan. So this is another product that I don't have on my face today, but again, usually when I do my makeup, since I bought this is the bronzer that I have been wearing. So these 2, like I said, I kept going back and forth. Maybe I really should tie these 2, but the only reason I put the bronzer on top of the Pat McGrath blush is because I feel like I can get more use out of the bronzer. Like, this is something that I can wear as a bronzer on my forehead and on my cheeks, and then normally where I would put blush, I can kind of build the bronzer up a little bit and it can kind of double serve as a bronzer and a blush. Whereas this blush, I can only use it as a blush. That's really the only reason I put this on top of this one. Okay guys, down to my favorite 2 products of the month. So number 2 is not a new release. This one came out a little while ago, but this brand had a 30% off site-wide sale, so I decided to take advantage of it, which is why I'm just now getting this product. So the next one on my list, coming in at number 2, is the Colourpop Stone Cold Fox palette. And for those of you who are already subscribed to my channel, y'all already know why I love this palette so much. So this is what it looks like here. I'll hold it up upside down. So this is like a cool tone lover's dream, and that's exactly why I like it. I love cool tone eyeshadows, for those of you who may be new here. So I really wanted to try this palette ever since it first came out, but I kept saying it's really big. I do get kind of overwhelmed with palettes that have this much of a variety in it, because you can just look at this palette for forever and it'll be kind of hard to decide what you want to do because you just have so many choices in front of you. So that is one of the reasons that I didn't get this palette when it first came out, but also because I also have the Natasha Denona Glam palette. So I already had this, like I got this as soon as it came out, and to me the Colourpop palette is almost like a drugstore dupe for Natasha Denona. They are different in that Colourpop does have a lot more shades and they just have more to choose from in this one, but I kept saying, you know, I already have Natasha Denona. I paid $65 for this, so maybe I should just skip the Colourpop one because there are a lot of the same shades. But like I said, Colourpop had a 30% off sale, so I took advantage and I decided to pick this up. So I already knew that I was gonna like it. I don't have very many Colourpop palettes, but I do have a few. I probably have like 5 of them, so I'm used to their formula, and all of the other palettes that I have from them, I do really like it. So if the formula is good and of course the color range is good for me, I knew that I was gonna really like this. But of course I love it because it is a very cool tone palette, and for all of these colors to be very cool tone, there's still like so much you can do with this palette because there's a whole lot of options. So like I said, I do get overwhelmed with palettes that are this big, but I do really like this. So number 2 of the month, and my favorite product of the month. I think for those of y'all who watch my videos regularly, you already know what my favorite product is, so let me know in the comments what you think it is right now. But my favorite product for last month was the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb Heat. So this is the 3rd installment of the Fenty Gloss Bombs. This one is, in terms of how it looks on your lips, this one is very similar to the original Gloss Bombs, but this one doesn't have any shimmer in it. But the main difference is this is a lip plumping gloss. So I don't really care for lip plumping glosses because a lot of times that tingling sensation that you get is like just too much for me. This one has like a very to me a very comfortable tingling sensation. It starts off as kind of like a warming sensation, and then after like, you know, 30 seconds or so you do start to feel like a little tingle, but to me it's like comfortable. Like I like the level of tingle that I get. This only comes in one shade so far. This one is the shade Hot Cherry, so it's meant to be like a sheer tint of color on your lips. So just like with the original Gloss Bombs, this is not going to give you any type of pigmented color. So if you've ever tried the Gloss Bomb creams, this isn't going to give you as much coverage as this one. So this is what Hot Cherry looks like. I have pinkish toned lips, so to me this one kind of just like enhances that pink on my lips. It gives like a really nice glossy shine, but again, it's not going to give you a whole lot of color, so just keep that in mind. But it does to me make my lips look a bit more like, I don't want to say plump because I really don't think it really like plumped up my lips. I just don't think I need lip plumper anyway, but to me it does give the illusion, let's say, of like fuller looking lips. Now you can argue that any gloss will do that. Like if you compare bare lips to lips with any type of gloss on, the lips with any type of gloss, they are going to look enhanced, but I do think this one just gives the illusion of like fuller, more voluptuous, like juicy looking lips, I'll say. And I really like this. Like I think the color of it looks really nice on my lips, but because it is so sheer. So this is definitely my favorite product of the month, and again another one that I'm not wearing today, but I have worn it quite often since I got it. So those are all of the products products that I tried last month, and those are how I ranked the products. Let me know what you think about any of the products that I talked about today. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all back here for my next one. Until then, take care. Have a good one, y'all. Bye.